What's up, guys? We're back again with some more tales from Timor. So before we get into the video today, I just want to make a disclaimer saying that I am not an expert on patriotism. I never claimed to be an expert on patriotism. These are just thoughts of mine coming from a 23-year-old who is chilling in his room with a door that is frankly too short for him to fit through. These are just thoughts that I have had in the past week about the nature of patriotism, and I expect people to treat it as such. Yeah, with that disclaimer out of the way, let's talk about patriotism. So patriotism is a difficult subject for a multitude of reasons. On the one hand, patriotism can be a force for good. I mean, you have these patriots throughout history like Nelson Mandela, Gandhi, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, Martin Luther King, all of these people who had remarkable ideas. And although they may have had their problems, they really were forces for good, and they inspired a lot of good by what they did. While on the other hand, patriotism can be a force for great evil. I mean, you look at history and you see things like World War I, World War II, the storming of the Capitol building. All these stemmed from blind devotion to a country without even a second thought of what that blind devotion would eventually lead to. So growing up in America, I've become very well acquainted with United States history. I mean, I did reasonably well on my AP US History and Government test. I am also a big fan of Crash Course, Overly Sarcastic, Overly Simplified Productions, which are great channels that I think you guys should check out if you're interested in learning more about US history. Total side note here, but Hank Green, if you're watching this, I'd love to work with you when I'm done here in East Timor. However, being in East Timor has given me insight into how others view their own country's history. And East Timor has a really fascinating history behind it. I would love to get into it, but if that were the case, you'd be sitting here watching this video for the next 2 hours. Also, Timor history is not exactly a pleasant one, and I am not interested in getting this channel demonetized before it even becomes monetized. So I've just decided that I'm just going to leave some reading in the description as well as some documentaries that I've been watching. Feel free to peruse them at your own leisure. They are not for the faint of heart though. But yeah, if there's one thing I learned in all of this exploration of history, is that history is really messy. And it is because the fact that history is very messy means that the people in history are going to be even more messy. Because the one thing that I have learned in my 23 years of existence is that nobody has any idea what is going on. I mean, sure, some people can guess at what's going on, but nobody can give me a definitive answer as to what's the purpose of everything. What are we doing here? What's the point? And that's why I find it so hard to judge historical figures for their past actions, because they were just making it up like the rest of us. I mean, who hasn't looked back at old high school photos of themselves and thought to themselves, ha, look at that idiot. I mean, either that or you have gone through exactly zero character development since high school, and I don't know if I should be happy for you or feel bad for you. But at the same time, that person in high school did some things that were instrumental into you becoming the you that you are now. So they did some good despite doing some really stupid stuff. And the same can be said for patriotic people in history. And we can look back and think of all the things that these people in history did wrong. But at the same time, we have to reconcile with the fact that these people were just as scared, just as terrified, and just as clueless as we are now. And that can be either a terrifying or comforting kind of thought. I'll let you guys decide. Ate logo, guys. I'll see you next week. Before I go though, guys, I just want to let you know that there's going to be a link in the description for the new Big Siefk single that just came out. Also, I'm going to be linking some reading materials as well as documentaries that I've been watching about East Timor history. Also, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe if you want to hear more from my tales of Timor. I'll see you guys around.